Hello, welcome back to Justin Talks Villa. Now, I've been told off by a couple of my loyal followers for not doing this more. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel if you are watching this. It helps massively and it is a really nice gesture. And thank you very much for that. So this is the Go Ahead Eagles in the Tunnel match preview. Let's go. Hello, welcome back. So we enter Europe again after a really good start. 2 wins out of 2. We are ticking along nicely. I think the final win was probably the little kickstart we needed to get our season going. So the Europa League has helped us massively so far. And we are heading back to the Netherlands to play a team I don't know a lot about. Go Ahead Eagles, a very unique name. So I thought before we dig into how they're getting on, we'd have a little bit of a look about their history and what they're all about. So let us start by seeing where they are. They are in a place called Deventer. Now, I might muller some of these pronunciations, but I will do my best. In Oversteels, Netherlands. They are called Go Ahead Eagles. They were founded in 1902. The club began in 1902 under the name Be Quick. In 1905, the name changed to Go Ahead as the Dutch FA didn't allow duplicate names. The English phrase Go Ahead was chosen during a time that Dutch clubs often picked English-style names. The club was merged with a team called Eagles, and both clubs came together and they merged the two names, Go Ahead Eagles. They play in a stadium, now this is a tough one, called De Olde Shortse, meaning the Eagle's Nest, which I think has probably got to be one of my favourite names for a stadium in the world. It opened in 1920, the capacity of 10,000. It's known for its classic, intimate atmosphere and passionate local support. I've also read that the new stadium was rebuilt in 2015 and it took some influence from Craven Cottage. So that's an interesting stat there. Their home kit is red and yellow, typically red with yellow vertical stripes or panels, red shorts, red socks, and the colours are inspired by the city's coat of arms, which reminds me a lot of Dunfermline. Now, I've just seen this, and that's very interesting. The away kit, I do really like. I love the eagle motif that runs across it as well, and this is the third kit. Go Ahead Eagles are known for their fighting spirit, loyal fan base. The club has produced several notable players, including one Mark Overmars, who began his professional career there. So that's very interesting. There we go. A little bit about Go Ahead. There I am. I'm back again. Interesting. They are around about an hour and a half train or drive away from Amsterdam. So I presume most fans are going to be heading once again over to Amsterdam to enjoy the delights of that city. And then they'll probably be heading the 26 odd miles east over to Go Ahead for the game. Now, we're only taking a few hundred fans, so that's going to be very, very interesting indeed. Right, let's have a look at Go Ahead Eagles and let's see what they are doing this season. Let's bring this up. We don't want that still. We want that. That's what we want. Okay, Go Ahead Eagles. Right. This season in the Eredivisie, if we change that to the Eredivisie, we can see that they are currently sitting in 12th. 9 games played, 2 wins, 4 draws, and 3 defeats with a -1 goal difference. Last 5 games, won, lost, drew, lost. So they're having a bit of a ropey spell at the moment. They lost at the weekend to PSV Eindhoven. If we have a quick look at the statistics in this game, which I did before I came on air, I mean, I've got to say they lost 2-1, but it looked like a bit of a battering, to be honest. They conceded 24 shots in the game. They only got 4 off themselves, but they did manage to score 1. And if we look at the momentum bar, which we all know I love a momentum bar, PSV absolutely dominated the whole of the first half, but only scored once. If we look at I think we can change this to first half, can we? Yep. I mean, they had 9 shots in the first half. So they totally battered them. They had a bit of a spell in the second half. So I am pretty confident. I mean, if we look at this as well, let's look at the Feyenoord, who we know very well are absolutely flying at home this season. 4 wins out of 4, unbeaten at home. Go Ahead Eagles' home form is 1-1, drew 2, lost 1. So, and we did really well against Feyenoord. So, you know, you never want to tempt fate. You never want to tempt fate, but they are certainly not one of the big powerhouses of Dutch football. So I am fairly confident that we can go there and be very, very. I mean, even with a much changed team, I think we've got to go there and look to win the game, if I'm brutally honest. Top players this season, average, the goalkeeper is having an absolute blinder, averaging an 8.4 this season, which is fantastic. The defender, Joris Kramer, also doing well. And midfielder, don't know what's happening here. Why has that gone off there? Let's try that again. And midfielder Jacob Boehm as well, doing pretty well. Goals this season, they've got 1 player on 2 goals and assists. They're not really scoring that many, only 2 goals is their top scorer. So let's look at, they generally tend to play as well. I've looked at this. They play a 4-3-3 formation. So they play a normal back 4, 3 in midfield, and then a wide left, wide right with Schmidt, who played at the weekend, up top. Their average rating over the whole season is 7.02. So again, I am pretty confident that we can go there and win this game. You know, we're coming off the back of a really, really good run of form. Fantastic result at the weekend against Spurs. So I think we've got to go there and try and win the game. Do exactly what we've been doing, dominate the game from the start. You know, in Europe, that tends to be the sort of way we play anyway. So just slow the game right down, play at our pace, make sure that we don't do anything silly, no silly mistakes. But defensively, I think we've been really, really good this season. So I don't really see any issues with us defensively, if I'm honest, apart from any stupid mistakes, which is always a possibility. You never know, do you? So let's have a quick look at what team I think potentially we could be playing this weekend. Again, it's going to be much changed, I think. I do genuinely think it's going to be much changed. So if we just bring up my little tactic board, and there we are. So we'll have a look at this. We need to pick, where is my saved things? What, 2 seconds? I'm just going to bring up what I've already. Right, just one thing I wanted to do before that, I forgot, sorry, was just to have a look at the average positions from the game at the weekend, because obviously they played against PSV Eindhoven, who are you know, superpower of Dutch football. So with Villa coming into town, you can sort of see a similar kind of differentiate between the two sides. So PSV, very good side. Villa, I'm classing as a very good side against an underdog. Let's say an underdog. So this is how they set up. So it looks like the 2 fullbacks push forward a little bit. The number 8, the centre midfielder, just sits in and makes up a back 3. This is their average positions. And the 2 fullbacks are sort of allowed to bomb forward a little bit and create sort of wingers. And obviously, when you play with a narrow 3 and a 3, you are struggling for width. So it looks like the 2 fullbacks are the ones that are going to have to try and make up the width. And then the number 9 obviously is playing furthest forward with the 2 other attacking players in the three that play up top, sitting in and sort of creating this triangle effect with the other two midfielders playing a sort of, again, a triangle sort of. The 8 will sit in and do a bit of helping out with the back 4 or the back 3, and then the 2 other midfielders, and they're effectively playing, I mean, looks like this, a 3-5-1. And I don't really see anything different against us. I think they're going to sit deep. They're going to try and soak up a lot of pressure from Villa, and they're going to try and hit us on the break or set pieces, throw-ins, corners, free kicks is going to be huge for them at the weekend. So that's an interesting little observation. Right, let's look at the team news. So I've just set them up here. I mean, this is how they'll start, 4-3-3. But as I say, I do think they're going to sort of evolve, sit deep. They're going to play. One of the centre midfielders will just drop in here, almost a sweeper type position, sort of sitting in the quarterback position. The 2 midfielders will sit here, and then 2 of the forwards will sit in, helping out here, and then the number 9 will be around here. So it's going to be tough. You know, they're going to be maybe even playing in a low block, which we obviously struggled with at the start of the season. But I think now our players, especially our offensive players, are in better form. I'm far more confident of opening teams up now, especially with the likes of Buendia, Rogers. You know, depending on the team we play, you know, that kind of player, I think is going to open them up. So if we just sort of think they're going to be playing like this a lot of the game, sitting in, trying to sort of frustrate us, it's not going to be far away from this. I don't think there's any question that Bizot starts in goal. I think Emi probably needs a bit of a rest, especially and bearing in mind, obviously, we've got the Manchester City game on Sunday, which is huge. We don't want any risks of any players. So I think looking at the team, I don't see LOOKAHEAD starting, especially with that really bad gash he had on his ankle. So I think Ian Maatsen comes in at left back. I think this is the game Victor Lindelof comes in. I think Pau probably starts again. And the difficult one is, what do we do at right back? Now, the obvious one is, I can't get bloody Matty Cash off here now. Let's get him off. Right, so the obvious one is Matty Cash. The other option is we bring Bogard in and play him at right back, which I think probably makes sense. Cash is in really fine form, and I know, you know, don't leave a player out in his good form, but you know, we've got, it's a squad now. It's not an 11. It's a squad game. Now I'm second guessing myself, like I always do every week. Concert has barely missed a game this season. I still think I'd like to see Concert rested. I do honestly. I think this is a game we can win without Concert playing. So Lindelof comes in for me. This probably won't happen, but we'll see. Potentially bring Barkley in, because he's had a couple of cameos off the bench. Maybe even a Nana in there, and then rest Boubacar Kamara, one of the big boys we want to keep nice and fresh going forward. The 3 in behind, I also think potentially could also keep Ollie on the bench again, with a view to bringing him on, giving him another half an hour if he's not 100%, because we have to rely on him heavily, being our only sort of fit centre forward. Right, in behind, we've obviously got, we could play McGinn. I'd like to see Harvey Elliott given a run out, if I'm brutally honest. I think it's time to see him having some minutes. And I also think we could possibly, depending on how fit he is, so the press conference will be very interesting, could see Sancho here as well. A wild card could be Ben Brogio, who is a fantastic talent and somebody who I think will probably make the bench in this game. You've also got Hemmings, Jimo Aloba. You know, we've got a lot of good young players coming through. The only thing is now, I mean, Gassan, again, throw him in there. I think, again, this shows the quality of our bench, the quality of the depth of the squad. You know, we was all getting very worried at the start of the season, but now I think we can see the depth of this squad. We could go with so many options here. But I just have got this in the back of my head of the Manchester City game, and I think it's very, very important not to flog them. When we've got this much quality as well, I don't want to see Martinez playing. I don't want to see Konsa playing. I think Luca Dean doesn't play. I even think Matty Cash deserves a bit of a break. Kamara can sit this one out with the likes of Barkley and Onana in there. McGinn just plays every game. He's like just a robot, and he keeps going. Definitely, all of us want to see Elliott get minutes, Sancho get minutes, and then Marlon up top. And then, we have got options off the bench. You've got Buendia, you've got Ollie Watkins, you've got Gassan that can come on. Rodgers, I haven't even mentioned, do we he's kept persevering with him through all the way through his poor form. Now he scores and I'm leaving him out. But again, Sunday, 2:00 is far more important than this game. Although the manager won't see it like that. He'll see this game as a must-win game, and it would put us in a fantastic position in the league phase as well if we win this game. So we will be going there to win this game. But quite frankly, he can play who he wants, because I'm confident that whatever team we put out, I think we can win this game. And the likes of McGinn bombing up and down here, Bogard can just sit in here, Barkley can come across and help. We saw Nana helping out here. Maatsen loves to get forward. Sancho can tuck inside, and we can try and get overloads down the left-hand side. Harvey Elliott, love to see him get an hour just to really, get comfortable and get in there. Marlon, be lovely to see him getting a goal to continue his recent good run of form as well. There's lots and lots of reasons why a lot of these players, it'd be good to get the minutes on the pitch. And even Tyrone, if he's okay, maybe get him off the bench for 20 minutes, half an hour, to give him some minutes as well, to get him prepared to get back into first team squad again on match days, Premier League match days. It's all very intriguing. What do you think? Get involved in the comments below and see what you would do with the team selection. How many players would you change? We had a really good debate on the Monday Night Phoning, actually, and we had people phoning in, and we had anything from, I'm going to say, 5 or 6 to 11 people. Some people were saying we could even see 11 changes. So I'm just going to finish off now with looking at the current league table. If we go back to go ahead, and then we go to there. No, it was in the back page, wasn't it? So this is the current Europa League table. Everybody's played 2 games. Teams that are struggling at the bottom with no wins. We've got 5 teams, 6 teams with no wins. Malmo, Feyenoord, Salzburg, Utrecht, Rangers, and Nice. Surprisingly, I thought they'd be doing better than that. And then when you've got teams with 1 point, you've got Maccabi Tel Aviv, PAOK, Celtic, Bologna, Svetshevitsa, Forest with 1, and then teams with 3 points, so 1 win so far. We've got is that FC Basel? Who's that? Is that FC Basel? Romanian. I should know who that is. It's not FC Basel, isn't it? It might be, actually. Anyway, so you got possibly Basel, Stuttgart, Sturm Graz, Ludogorets, Fenerbahce, Young Boys, Genk, Bern, Go Ahead with 1 win, Roma with 1 win. Oh, there's Basel, so it can't be them. God knows who that is. Tell me in the comments who that is. Celta Vigo and Panathinaikos. And then the teams that have got 4, then we're going into the top 10 now. Ferencváros, Freiburg, Betis, Plzeň, Lille, Porto. And then the top 7 have all won both of their games. So this is the category we are in. Lille, Porto, Lyon, Braga, Villa, Midtjylland, and Dinamo. So a win. How many of those top 7 are going to win this week? I don't know. But I think there's a good chance that we could possibly even go top with a good win here. So that'll be good. And we all know the benefits of finishing the top 8 are huge. So what do we want from this game? We want a nice win, no injuries, minutes in the legs for players that haven't had a lot of minutes this season, and we want to all come back with no injuries and be ready for the Man City game at the weekend. Looking forward to it. I hope you've enjoyed the show. As I said at the start, if you could hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and get involved in the comment section, it would be absolutely marvelous and would help me marvelously, and I would be very much appreciative of it as well. Let me know what you think the score is going to be. I'm going to say 4-1 Villa. What do we reckon? 4-1 Villa. We're going to continue the run. 6 in a row. Let's go, Villa. Speak to you all soon. Up the Villa.